So, mellow. A howl for Carl Sullivan. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn, looking for an angry fix. Angel-headed hipsters burning for the ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo and the machinery of the night. Who poverty and tatters and hollow-eyed and high sat up smoking in the supernatural darkness of cold water flats, floating above the tops of cities contemplating jazz, who bared their brains to heaven under the L and saw Mohammedan angels staggered on tenement roofs illuminated, who passed through the universities with cool, radiant eyes, hallucinating Arkansas and Blake-like tragedies among the scholars of war, who were expelled from the academies for crazy and publishing obscene odes on the windows of the skull, who cowered in unshaven rooms in underwear, burning their money in wastebaskets, listening to the terror through the wall, who were busted in their pubic beards returning through Laredo with a belt full of marijuana for New York, who ate fire in paint hotels or drank turpentine in Paradise Alley death, purgatorying their torsos night after night, with drugs, with dreams, with walking nightmares, alcohol, cock, and endless balls, incomparable blind streets of shuddering cloud and lightning of the mind, leaping between poles of Canada and Paterson, illuminating the motionless world between. Paved solidities and halls, backyard, green tree, cemetery dawn, wine drunkenness across the rooftops, storefront burrows of tea-head joyride, neon blinking traffic light, sun and moon and tree vibrations in the roaring winter dusks of Brooklyn. Kind king, light of mind, and ash can rantings, who chained themselves to subways for the endless ride from Battery to Holy Bronx on Benzedrine until the noise of wheels and children brought them down, mouth-racked, shuddering, and battered a bleak of brain, all drained of brilliance in the drear light of zoo, who sank all night in submarine light of Bickfords, floated out and sat through stale beer afternoons in desolate fagazis, listening to the crack of doom on the hydrogen jukebox, who talked continuously 70 hours from park to pad to pub to bar to Bellevue to museum to Brooklyn Bridge. A lost battalion of platonic conversationalists jumping down stoops, off windowsills, off fire escapes, off Empire State, out of the moon, yakety-yakking, screaming, vomiting, whispering facts, anecdotes, memories, and eyeball kicks and shocks of jails and hospitals and war. Whole intellects disgorged for 7 days and nights, with brilliant eyes, meet for the synagogue cast out on pavement, who disappeared into nowhere Zen, New Jersey, leaving only an ambiguous trail of picture postcards of Atlantic City Hall, who wandered around at who suffered Eastern sweats and Tangerian bone scrapings and Chinese migraines of drunk withdrawal in Newark's bleak furnished room, who wandered around and around at midnight in railroad yards, wondering where to go, and went, leaving behind no broken hearts, who lit cigarettes in boxcars, racketing through snow toward lonesome farms in grandfather night, who studied Pontius Po, St. John of the Cross, telepathy, and Bop Kablah, because the cosmos instinctively vibrated at their feet in Kansas, who thought they were only mad in Baltimore when it gleamed with supernatural ecstasy, who loaned it in the streets of Idaho seeking visionary Indian angels who were visionary Indian angels, who jumped in limousines with the Chinamen of Oklahoma on the impulse of midnight street light winter small town rain, who lounged lonesome and hungry through Houston, seeking jazz or sex or soup, and followed the brilliant Spaniard to converse about America and eternity, a hopeless task, and so took ship to Africa, who disappeared into the volcanoes of Mexico, leaving behind only the shadow of dungarees and lava and ashes of poems scattered into the fireplace of Chicago, who reappeared on the West Coast investigating the FBI in shorts and beards with pacifist eyes, looking sexy in their dark skin, distributing incomprehensible pamphlets, who burned cigarette holes in their arms, protesting the narcotic tobacco haze of capitalism, who distributed super communist pamphlets in Union Square, weeping and undressing until the sirens of Los Alamos wailed them down, and wailed down Wall, and the Staten Island ferry wailed. Who broke down crying in white gymnasiums, naked, staring at the other motionless machines of skeletons, who howled on their knees in subways until they were dragged off, waving manuscripts and genitals. I'm not going to go any further into howl, but
That
was awesome! Sorry to keep going. I'm probably well past my due, but I did write my own poem. It's called 17 Lost Years. I'm 17 years old. 17 lost years on the made-up vine of life, breathing and breathing, chins straight up at mom and dad with open eyes domesticated, afraid to spoil the rug or piss on the green dollar dreams of America. 17 lost years hearing the invisible cries of freedom, sex, and lovely lies, self-repressed with school rules. Good socialized boy, following the law, writing within the dark, damp cages of old damned sonnets. 17 lost years to the awkward acne hell of pubescent life and middle school lunches and PG-13 movies and thinking of girls, hopeless fantasies with girls, lost opportunities. A few fruitless weeks of saying, I play guitar and have emotions, therefore I'm unique. Finding out you are nothing, becoming nobody. A child might cry, a diaper might be changed, but sadness remains. A whole life lost to the world and expectations of full contentment, and more contentment, and boundless comforts of home, and my long, struggleless life, I need a villain. One eternal year in life's strange purgatory of the same old thing in sterile limbo, with cutters and hipsters but still so long, and streaking stark naked in the night, and broken down crying over lost ghosts. I done growed up. That's it.